Hi, and welcome to the BookishStitcher podcast. My name is Jeanette. You can find me on Ravelry, Instagram, and Goodreads as BookishStitcher, all one word. I hope you had a fantastic week since I last podcasted. This is going to be a recap of the DFW Fiber Fest, which I went to this weekend. And so it's basically all around me is DFW stuff, but I wanted to share one or two things before I talk about that. Oh, and I just realized you might notice that up there. I had a thing for Easter up behind me, but it's no longer Easter, so I took that down. But that's a painting I did of the TARDIS from Doctor Who flying through the night sky. I did a class with a friend where we went and did painting, so I just put that up there because I didn't want my Easter thing still up there. I'll get something else probably to put up later, but yeah, that's a little painting I did. It was a fun night with a friend. And so I wanted to show you, I had shown you this on the bobbin all plied up, but I wanted to show you it after it's had its bath and it's been skeined up. This is my October House Romantic Garden that I spun, and I'm excited to knit something with it. The colors are beautiful. I'm actually thinking of doing a hand-spun sweater with a whole bunch of different hand-spuns that have these kind of colors, because I have some other in my stash that have these same colors, and I think that would be a really very pretty sweater. And the other thing that I wanted to show that came this week is my friend Mandy, Mandy Pinecone. She sent me an amazing package with my kids, and I normally, when I get sent a package, something from one of my VKN friends, like Tanya Celestia22 sent me one, and I posted on Instagram, but Mandy's would not have all fit in a post for Instagram, so I went to show a bit of it here on the podcast. But she said she was going to send me some minis and some tea for my birthday, so I thought, a couple little things, and this giant bag arrived, or parcel, and my husband said, "What did you order?" And I said, "I don't know," and I looked, I was like, "Mandy!" And that's what I said to her on the VK. I was like, "Mandy, it's so much." But so she had little bags for my kids that she had sewn up, a frozen one for my daughter, and then a fox one. They were filled with candy. And then for me, she did this little bag. It's so whimsical and adorable. It's not showing up as bright as it is, but it's very bright little bag. And it actually has my toiletries. I use this for toiletries on the way to the knitting festival this weekend. So thank you, Mandy. That was wonderful. And then she sent a bunch of teas, and she sent candy for me in there. And then she sent a whole bunch of DPN needle cozies. And these I'm going to be using for the Reed Knit Cowl. I'm going to be putting them in the bag, which I'll have to show you. And then with the hand spun. So that will be fun. Thank you so much, Mandy. And then I'm not going to take them all up, but a whole huge thing of minis. Just like some minis, or, some could mean, 20 minis. There's so much, and she labeled them all. And there's a ton of Cuppy Cake yarns in here, which is Mandy's favorite yarn to use, I believe. And I have one skein of Cuppy Cake. I haven't knitted up yet, but I'm excited to try a whole bunch of her colorways, because I thought about getting in on some of her yarn clubs because they look like so much fun. Dawn, who dyes for Cuppy Cake Yarns, does a great job with her colorways and her clubs. So that's all the stuff I wanted to show you from before DFW. So I drove Friday to DFW Yarn Festival in Dallas. I drove up from San Antonio, and I left at the exactly wrong time on Friday, so I hit rush hour, early rush hour in Austin, or probably late lunch, early rush hour, because it was a Friday in Austin, and it was stopped from South Austin before I even really got into the city till the traffic was really bad. I had a friend, I was joking with my friend, that she came from a different state, and they drove, and they got there in less time than I did. And Texas is a big state, but still it was. But luckily, as you guys know, we knit, so it makes sitting and waiting for doctor's offices and stuff like that more bearable. Now, before you're like, Jeanette, were you knitting in traffic? No. No, it wasn't. But as you who listen to audiobooks might know, that it has the same thing, to where you're listening to your audiobook, and yes, you don't like sitting in traffic because sometimes you need to go to the bathroom and you're stuck. But it's not as bad because you have this audiobook and you're like, oh, I'm getting to listen to this. So it was fine. And I will be reviewing the audiobook at the end of the podcast this week because when traffic is terrible, you can get through a 12-hour audiobook in a trip to Dallas and back. The trip back this morning was very easy, but the trip there was nuts. I got in so much later, hours later on Friday than I thought it would. But I got in, and I texted my friends that I was staying with at the hotel what they were doing for dinner, and so I walked into my hotel room, and I have to give my husband wonderful props because the room was amazing. And I found out from a friend that she is a manager at one of these hotels that this is kind of just standard, but I had a television in my bedroom. I was like a 5-year-old at Christmas. I was so excited. I was like, look, and look. And my friend, Dina, she got to see me being all excited about my room because I told her what room I was in, and she came and she was like, Jeanette. And so I looked out the door because I had a room to myself, and I came in and showed her my room, and I was like, and look, and look. And so it was a very nice room, but he got one of those really good deals, so it wasn't any more than the basic, like, one that you would get. And it was I enjoyed it a lot. It was the Element hotel. But anyway, so put my stuff down, and then I went to meet my friends, and we hung out in the lobby. And Shanita, who's a friend of mine, Shanita is one of those amazing people who she knows everything. Like, she knows the best restaurants, she knows all the yarn dyers, she knows all the pattern designers, she knows everyone. And so she had ordered food for us, and so what we did was we sat in the lobby, and there were, I think, about 8 or 10 of us, and we had pizza, and I got to have thin crust pizza, which I love, but I don't get to have at home normally because my husband thinks that it's not really pizza unless you have a lot of bread. And then Shanita ordered a whole bunch of different desserts because there were a whole bunch of us, and I got to try tiramisu and for the first time, and then another Italian, I'm forgetting, cannelloni, I'm forgetting what it's called, but an Italian dessert is like a chocolate roll thing with some kind of cream. And since there were a whole bunch of us, it was fun because we could all get a couple bites and sample all these different desserts. And we just sat down there and knit for so long and had so much fun. And what did I knit on Friday? Well, I have been a monogamous knitter, and this feels so weird to even say because I'm never monogamous, and I kind of don't know how to get myself out of this. Have any of you ever experienced that, where because I wanted to get, the beaded shawl done weeks ago, so I was monogamous on that till it got done. And then I wanted to get my husband's sweater, so I've been being monogamous on things to get stuff done, and it's just kind of turned me into a monogamous knitter, and I was trying to get myself to work on something else this week, but I couldn't. But anyways, so I worked on this. My Paperwhite by Alicia Plummer, and last time you saw that, it's much brighter blue than it's showing up. It's looking very denim, but it's a much brighter blue. You can see on Instagram the picture I took. And then the border is gorgeous, but it was all done in ribbing, so it did take me a while. But I was, I believe, here last week, and so all of that I knit. I mostly, did the blue, and then I knit a lot on the border. So I knit with them for a while on Friday, and then there was a TV on, it was getting late, and some people had already gone to their rooms because they had classes and stuff the next day. I didn't take any classes. But then there was a TV on in another part, like a little ways from where we were sitting, and I saw they had BBC America on, and they had V for Vendetta, which is a movie I really enjoy, came on. And I don't know if you do you do this? Like, you may own that movie, but when it comes on TV and you're at a hotel, you feel like you need to go watch that movie that you already own and could watch at your house, but it just feels really special, very special at a hotel. So I told Dina, I was like, I think I'm going to go watch that movie in my room because I was pretty tired and I just needed some downtime. And Shanita, my friend Shanita, was teasing me. She's like, I thought you were going to sleep, but you were up in your, because I posted a picture on Instagram, midnight knitting, because I had to finish the shawl. I was 3 rows away, and the rows take a while, but I had to finish the shawl. I wish the color were better, but I had to finish the shawl, and the movie was on, so it was perfect. and that was done. I started working on my next thing, which I'll show you in a minute. And so after the movie was over and I had finished the shawl, the skein is so nice. I turned off the TV, and then I pulled out a book that I was reading. I brought an audiobook, like I was saying, and then I brought an actual book because I've been loving this week. I've been reading a ton. I've been loving actual books, curling up in my covers with my Iberian Discovery shawl and reading an actual book. And so I was reading, and I haven't finished it, and I'll review this book when I finish it, but The Czar of Love and Techno, which has been good so far. It's a book of short stories. And then woke up early Saturday with excitement, and I texted my friend Heidi, who does for Undead Yarn. I said, ready for shopping? Or I was like, good morning, are you awake? And she said yes, because Heidi goes to bed pretty early, I knew. And so I knew she'd be up. I was up till 2:30 in the morning, and then I got up super early. So, but I was excited right then. So I went down and had breakfast at the hotel, but none of my other friends that were staying at the hotel were up yet because I had texted them, and I didn't want to wake all of them up. But I went down and had breakfast by myself, which was fine. And then I went and grabbed some Starbucks because I need coffee. And I headed over to the DFW Fiber Fest and went in, saw Heidi. She was at the Mustache booth, and I had a couple people that had asked me to grab them yarn from Mustache. I'm not going to show their yarn, but I got it, and I'm going to be mailing that off to them soon. And then I was in the Mustache booth talking to different people, and who do I see coming through the doors? Robin, 92, stitching between pages. I was like, Robin! I was so excited. And then my eyes were like, ah, and she was like, ah, and we hugged. This is going to be a silly podcast. If you're new, this is not normal. I normally talk more about knitting, but so we hugged, and she gave me some presents, which was so sweet of her because her birthday was on Friday, and my birthday was a little while ago, so I had a present for her. It was this yarn done by Swatch This, I believe is the name, and they do book and yarn kind of thing. It was Wrinkle in Time, which is one of Robin's favorite books, so I thought that would be fun. But Robin, so sweet, she gave me a bar of chocolate. I had half on Saturday, and I had half this morning, so thank you, Robin. Kept me awake in the car drive home. And then she gave me this gorgeous, completely beautiful, cool tones of purple and blue skein of Heritage Paints by Cascade Yarns. And it's called the Mannings. And then she gave me, because Robin and I both love a good cup of coffee, this is from Chicago. And I'm actually having this in my cup right now, a little owl cup. And this is Metropolis. It's very yummy. Spice Island Notes Dark Cocoa, Nuts, and Toffee, and it's a medium dark, and it is so yummy. Thank you, Robin. And then so I wanted to just get to hang out with Robin as much as possible because she had come down from Chicago, and we had been talking online for so long, and I just wanted to get to hang out. So I got to meet her mom, Sue, and you could completely tell that they were mother-daughter. And so they got some stuff at Mustache, and then I'm not going to remember the exact order of stuff, but we wandered around to different things. So I'll just start showing you some enabling, shall I? Okay, so I'm not even sure like what to show first. Okay, I know this was one of the first things that I got. I got a braid of fiber, and it's funny because last year at DFW, I got almost the exact same amount. I got 2 bags, 3 braids of fiber, and then I think 7 skeins of yarn last year, and this year I think I got 8 or 9, but I got a couple skeins this year that were cheaper than from last year. But I got some fiber optic. This is the lightning, or the Thunder to Lightning, and it is beautiful. I love her colors. I've never actually spun it up, so I don't know how they spin, but it's very pretty. I just thought that just drew me in. And so we wandered around. We went to Mad Tosh. I think we went to Madeline Tosh before lunch. So I wanted to get some stuff to do some brioche hats, because I've done brioche before, but I haven't done it in a while. When I first started knitting, I had this, I want to know every technique and how to do it. And then once I mastered it, I was kind of like, okay, I'm done. And I've just been doing like comfort knitting things occasionally with occasional like beaded giant lace shawls thrown in. You can tell I'm still a little bit tired. And my voice is gone because I've been talking so much this weekend. But I went to the Madeline Tosh store, and I got 4 skeins from there. And I got basically they're coordinating, so 2 coordinating. So I got this pink and this brown to go together. And this is Buckle and Scout. I think that will be a cute hat. And then I got to go together, I wanted a green and a gray hat. I tried not to get blue hats. So green and gray. That's going to be another brioche hat. Then I will have hats that are not blue, so I can wear with other things, because 90% of my hats are blue. I think I've talked about that before on the podcast. And then, let's see. Oh, my bag. Okay, so I got a Suburban Stitcher bag. I got one last year, and then I got one this year. This is her new style with a zipper. The inside's very pretty. And she said that she actually might be getting some of these in blues and purples and greens because they have this fabric in that color. And if she does, then I will be ordering one of those bags, and this bag will be a present to my friend Heidi, who loves these colors. Because while I love the pattern, the colors are a bit brighter than I typically love. So we'll see if she gets the other fabric. And then I had to go and visit Diana Couture, who's so sweet, and she actually gave me this as a thank you for, because I love her bags, and she said thank you, because I guess a lot of people have come up and said that they heard about her bags on the podcast, which is very sweet. And thank you guys for going and checking out her shop, and thank you for saying that you heard about it on the podcast. So that's always cool to hear back from people saying that they had heard about things from the podcast. And it matches my other bag that I have. But I got another bag. I couldn't resist this fabric. It's like, my friend Katie was saying on my Instagram that you know, that that I have so many bags is very funny. This is Diana Couture. She's on Etsy. Don't you love that? I absolutely love this print. I don't know. It seems very, I don't know, just kind of, I don't know what it is, but I just really like it. So that is my bag. The inside fabric is yellow polka dots, and it has her wonderful pockets. And so now I have 2 of her bags. Which is always nice to have more bags, unless, you know, it's funny because you're either in the camp of you hardly ever use project bags, or you have tons and tons of project bags. And I have been going through mine at the last couple of retreats I went to. I went through them, and the ones that I wasn't going to use, I gave, because you can give them away to like the pile so other people can have them. So I do go through my bags frequently to make sure if I still love them or not. But then, let's see. So we've done some shopping, and I ran into my friend Amanda, who is Little Panda 518, and she's so sweet. I got to hug her in person. I think I gave her about 1 million hugs. She's adorable, and we VKN all the time. And she made me this. Oh, thank you, Amanda. I was sad that I didn't get to spend as much time with Amanda because they left pretty early at the festival. They drove down. She was the friend that had driven from another state and got to the the festival before I did. But they went to IKEA for a while, so they didn't stay too long. And in here, she has the Etsy store, Stitching, oh my gosh, I'm going to forget this, Stitching for You 4G, Stitch Together 4G. I think that's what it is. I'll put it in the notes on the thing. but stitched together 4G. I believe that's right. So these are for the read along. Look how beautiful she did this. Don't you love that? And it's metallic. It's metallic. You open them up and it's nicely lined in this nice neutral. And then so it'll be this, and then there'll be the skein of handspun from Brenda, and then there'll be a DPN holder. And we have 3 of these, 3 prizes for the Read Knit Cow. Thank you so much, Amanda, for making those. I asked her, like, can I commission you to make some bags for the Knit Read Cow thing? And she said, sure. So, yay. And then I got to hang around and walk around with Amanda for a while, and we went to Hill Country Weavers, had a booth there, and I got another skein of hedgehog. This is so pretty. It's more of a neutral. I was trying to get some more neutral colors. And this color, it was the name that really drew me in. Robin and I were talking about this, how names can just suck you in. The name was Whisper. So I think that's going to be a very pretty cowl. And so then after that, Amanda went with her friends that she had driven in with for lunch. And then Heidi and Robin and her mom, and then Rachel, who dyes for the Night Owl Fibers, a wonderful self-striping sock yarn. I've shown it back at Christmas time. And her mom, Brenda, came with us, and we went to have Indian food for lunch. And Robin is also a vegetarian, so it was very nice to have another vegetarian in the group, and the food was really good. We've eaten here. It's kind of a tradition whenever we go up to Dallas to eat at this Indian restaurant, and it was yummy and fast. They had a buffet, and it was funny. Robin and I were going through and be like, does that look like it has meat? Does that look like it has meat? And we were both lamenting over the fact that a lot of times in America you'll find that people hide meat in vegetables, because we both love to eat vegetables, and I was saying how, bacon is hidden in everything. Why is bacon hidden in everything? Because you'll get green beans, and then you'll be looking, and you're like, there's bacon in the green beans. And I know people love their bacon, but when you're a vegetarian, it's hard when everything has bacon hidden inside it. So, got back from that. Went to the podcaster meetup, and it was so great to see so many of you and to see so many other podcasters. That was wonderful. And I got interviewed, which I was so nervous. I don't know if she could tell. But Shorty Suture, Kelly, she interviewed me to ask, and I think that she'd asked everybody that was there maybe. I don't know, but there were a lot of people, and I don't know how many people she actually interviewed. I didn't ask her that, but she may have just asked everybody that was there. But so I got interviewed, and there was a little clip-on microphone, and it was an audio interview, not a video, and it was a clip-on microphone. I was very nervous. I was holding it like this, and I hope I did a good job. I'm clipping the microphone on. I was very nervous. I don't know why, but that was fun to get to talk to her and talk a little bit about things that I like to knit and stuff like that. And then after that, I was like, I need to go back into the market. I need to get some solid fingering weight yarns that I can pair with all these lovely variegateds that I have in my stash, so that I can use up some of those. Because while I love the variegated yarns and I'm always drawn to them, I don't want just a shawl of just the variegated. Like the Because I Love You wrap, I love that, and I wear it a lot because it has the variegated, but it also has the solid. So I got some, and it was so funny. Robin was like, okay, well, make sure you get solid colors or tonals. And Amanda had to leave after that, so I was sad. But then I got from my friend Alicia dyes yarn, and she's so sweet. She used to be in a knitting group with me before they shut down the bookstore that it was at, before it went out of business. She dyes yarn. I'm sure you've heard of her. Her yarn is famous because it's wonderful. Alicia goes around, and it's hand-dyed yarn. I wish you could feel this. It is 50-50 silk and superwash. So I got this very beautiful gray, and she doesn't name hers, I don't believe. You just use your imagination and you can name it. And then I got this beautiful blue. It's almost like a blackish blue. So those were two that I got from Alicia for making solids or for putting in shawls. And then I'm coming towards the end of my stash. So then I got one more, and this is kind of a tonal, but it does have other hints of colors. This is from Tumbleweed Yarn. And I'm going to use this very soon for a shawl. So after that, we went to October House, and I love October House. And I think all of us that went in there, because there was a group of us going around, were just totally and completely enamored by October House. And that's the handspun that I showed you earlier, was October House. So this lovely bit of fiber is called Paris Mornings. I showed Robin the name, and she was like, oh yes, you have to get this. So it's so soft, and it is one of her bamboo blends, because I love to have bamboo or silk in my fiber. And I think that was almost everything I got. I think that was, so then we went, and I wanted to get some minis for the blanket that I rarely ever work on, but I got minis last year, so I wanted to get some this year. So we went by Lone Star, and this is the pack of minis that I got. And it's Mockingbird, and it's LoneStarArtsYarn.com. And this is Lucky Leprechaun Mini Pack, 7 skeins of 87 yards each. And that's what it looks like. Those were my minis I'd gotten. And then 2 If by Hand was there, and I hadn't planned on getting any of theirs, but then somebody was saying that they weren't going to be dyeing yarn or fiber anymore. They were done because their lives have gotten too busy. So, you know, I wanted to go by and check and see, and I got this lovely thing. So this is called Roswell, and it's a superwash merino nylon, and it's beautiful. There's a lot of purples and pinks and blues and browns. Very much my colors, and greens and blues. It's just a beautiful assortment of color. And then, as you guys know, I love hand-dyed soap. So they had a soap booth, and the lady at the soap booth was actually a medieval textile historian, which was pretty awesome. We had a wonderful discussion with her. But they had a deal if you got a certain number of soaps that you got them for cheaper. So I got 4 soaps, and this is from Goodies Unlimited, and I got Pure Peppermint. Oh, it smells so good. Lavender Fields. I'm not going to show you every single one because you can't smell it. And then Chocolate Buttercream, and the last one I got, ooh, sorry, soaps are falling, is Almond Cream. And there was an amazing blueberry one too that is really good. I'm going to go online and get one of those. And then, almost last, I heard so many of you guys say when I asked questions on the podcast that you loved Kookaburra wash. So I got a little bottle of Kookaburra wash to try. And this is the lavender one. And then the very last thing that I got was, I got a sock blank from my friend Knitting Rose. She's so sweet, and I always love to get something from her at every single festival. I'm excited to see how this knits up. It's cream and teal. So that is all that I got for me. I think I only have a tiny bit. It was funny because everybody was like, that's the last of my cash. That's the last of my, and I think I have a tiny bit, like I could have gotten one more skein with my birthday money that I had left because I had gotten birthday money from a whole bunch of different family members. I think I have, like, I could have gotten one more skein, but I'll save that for later, for getting something later. And then I got a prize for you guys, because I like picking things up for you guys. And so some of my birthday money, I got this. And this is a bag from Little Monkey Stitch and Spin on Etsy. And it has different tags from travels around the world. It's very cute. And the inside it says things like different streets, 4th Avenue, and stuff like that. And then I got a skein of Madelintage in the color Minimal Tundra Optic. But I thought that these two went very well together because this yarn has flecks of cream, it's cream with flecks of black and blue and brown. So I thought those went very well together. So that will be the prize, and I'll open up a thread for that today, and that will be up for a few weeks, so you'll have lots of time to enter for that. And last thing, group news. I shouldn't do that really quick, and then the book, because I think that's everything. That's a lot, but yeah, I think that's everything. So group news, we finished up the shawl cowl that we had, and I drew for prizes for that. So let me get out my notebook. So the grand prize was this bag, this wonderful, wonderful bag by Bags by Awesome Granny. Thank you so much, Darlene, for donating this. And I got your yarn, Darlene. And I'll meet up with the mustache yarn that you wanted. I need to text you that. And inside of this are 3 skeins, and it has a little matching notions pouch. Inside of this are 3 skeins of wool tree yarn. Like that. And then you can pick too a pattern, and I will Ravelry gift you the pattern to kind of have like a complete shawl kit. And so the winner of the grand prize thing was post number 345. It was C. San Diego, who knit a Phoenix shawl, so congratulations. And then I drew for 2 prizes for the chatter thread. And prize number 1 for the chatter, I didn't bring down the things for that, but prize number 1 is a kit to do the Magic Cake ruffle shawl. So you have the yarn and the pattern, and that's Yinny Knit, who's $4.25. And then the second prize for the chatter thread is a thing of 3 skeins of yarn, and I will show that in the thing, or I'll show it to you when I message you and get your address. But the winner for that was Kiki Lucy, post number 50. And so it's enough, 3 skeins, donated by an anonymous donor. Thank you so much. And that will be sent off to you guys soon. So just message me or write on the Ravelry post when you see this and message me, and I can get that off to you. And right now going on, we have our new short story read-along that we're doing for the year, and we're reading The Rembrandt, I believe, by Edith Wharton. When I love Edith Wharton's books, they're very in-depth and interesting. And then we have the Read Knit Cal, and the Read Knit Cal is read any book and then knit something based off it. I just finished The Doldrums, and I'll be reviewing that pretty soon. My son is reading it right now. We're going to do a mother-son podcast and both review and talk about it. But I'm going to be knitting a sweater for The Doldrums, because when you're going to Antarctica on an exploration, you need a sweater. On an expedition, you need a sweater. So I thought that would be fun. I'm going to try to tie in everything that I knit this month and the next, because it's going for April and May. We're going to be doing that. And the prizes, like I showed you, a skein of handspun, a bag, and a DPN cozy. And there are 3 of those. And so probably what I will do is have, prizes for the chatter, like 1 of those for chatter and 2 for the FO thread. I haven't opened up the FO thread yet, but I will. And then, so that will be that. And then I'm excited. Next week you'll see I'm going to use every single Matryoshka bag that I have. I'm going to cast on like 7 things. I don't know how many Matryoshka bags I have, but you will see next week, because I'm going to put something in every single one of them as just kind of a fun thing to do, because I've been gifted so many Matryoshka bags lately, and I want to use them all at once at the same time. So that will be a lot of fun. But yeah, come on over and join the Read Knit Cal in the chatter thread. Tell us what you're reading for it. I know some people are rereading Harry Potter. I know there's different other books. Tree Grows in Brooklyn, which is a great one, so I was going to read. But yeah, just come over and chat about that, and I would love to get ideas for new books. But so, like I was saying, audiobooks. I listened to this audiobook on the way up to DFW, and it is called Black Rabbit Hall by Eve Chase. It's going to be on my phone, so. And the narrator, read by Natalie Buscombe and Katie, it's hard to read, it's so tiny, Katie Scarfe with Cassandra Campbell. It's like the tiniest, and it's hard to read because of the background. But the cover is beautiful. I know there are different covers for the thing, but the cover on this is beautiful. And so this is a book that is set in 2 different time periods. It has the present, where there's this girl, Lorna, who is looking with her fiance for a wedding a venue to get married at. And she's drawn to this house in Cornwall, I believe, and it's called Black Rabbit Hall. That's what the local people around call it. That's not what the actual name is of the house, but that's what the local people call it. And she goes there, and she just feels this weirdly drawn to it. You know it's going right. And so then it flashes back into the past, and it has this family that is spending their holidays there, and it's their house. And there's a tragedy, and I'm not going to tell you a whole bunch. There's lots of tragedies, actually. But there's stuff that happens, and as the book progresses, as you get closer and closer to finding out all the secrets, it starts telling you more and more as you get in on each side. So from the present and from the past, things start interlocking, kind of like puzzle pieces. So it very much makes me think of like a gothic family drama kind of book. So if you like books that are set in old houses in England, beautiful old houses in England that have these dark history of secrets, and books that you're finding out things as you go, this would very much be a book that you would enjoy. They compare it on Goodreads. They say that for fans of Kate Morton and Sarah Waters, here's a magnetic debut novel of wrenching family secrets, forbidden love, and heartbreaking loss, housed within the grand Gothic manor of Black Rabbit Hall. So I really enjoyed this book a lot, and it was definitely very good to listen to, and the narrators were good. Sometimes a narrator can ruin a book if they're not good, but the narrators on this were good. There was definitely British accents, and it was a perfect book for driving up there and back, because sometimes when I'm driving I might miss a word or two, and I did miss a couple of things, but it didn't detract from the entire story. Like, I still understood what was going on, and it was interesting enough with like keeping me guessing about what was happening within these secrets and what was going to happen next, and how was this person going to meet their demise, and it was good. And so that was Black Rabbit Hall by Eve Chase. And I got it on Audible, but I'm sure the book would be just as good if you wanted to read it. Well, that is everything that I have for this week. So many things, but I just wanted to show you guys everything from DFW Fiber Fest. And I know there were a lot of other Fiber Fests that went on this weekend, YarnCon, Stitches South, and stuff. So that was lots of fun, fibery goodness happening. And I hope that you enjoyed my recap of DFW. And I hope you have a wonderful week and that you get to do all the things you love. Okay, bye guys.